the thing, though. Your wealth doesn't scare me. Just because you have money doesn't make you untouchable. See, where I'm from, we're very big on our freedom of expression. And if the FBI is accusing you of all these crimes, and the Filipino government is also accusing you of all these crimes, then I reserve the right to make a video about said crimes.
The Ray William Johnson situation is just absolutely insane, and if you haven't been following it, don't you worry, I've got you covered in this video. Ray William Johnson, obviously an absolutely enormous YouTuber, 17.9 million subscribers. He posts daily true stories about all sorts of things, from true crime murders to pop culture to all sorts of just scandalous things, okay? And, you know, he has become synonymous with, you know, just telling true stories in a short, concise way and just making fun of it as he goes. But the situation recently has found Ray William Johnson in a bit of hot water with a potential cult leader who is now suing Ray William Johnson. That's right, you can't make it up. So Ray William Johnson posted a video around 2 months ago stating he's a dangerous cult leader. Okay, and he talks about a guy who is called Apollo Quiboloy, right, from the Philippines. Okay, and within this video, you know, he goes on to state a lot of things, kind of exposing some harsh truths about Apollo. Okay, so, you know, within his video, he exposes the criminal activities of Apollo, who's a controversial figure and self-proclaimed appointed son of God. So if that doesn't tell you what we need to know about this guy, then I don't know what will. He critiques his rise to power, exploitation of followers, and eventual legal troubles, while also touching on related legal threats that he made against Ray William Johnson himself. So, in Apollo's background, in 1985, Apollo claimed to have been visited by angels and declared himself the appointed son of God. He then founded the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, the KJC church, widely regarded as a cult amassing millions of followers and immersing wealth throughout satellite networks, publications, and a private jet. So, you know, you can see, obviously, with money comes power and influence. We know that about these kinds of people. And Ray William Johnson thought he would take it upon himself to take this guy down. Very notable. So, obviously, you know, Ray William Johnson, goes on to expose the exploitation of his followers, stating that his followers were pressured daily into donation quotas and coerced into providing personal and financial support under the guise of religious duty. He also goes on to state that female followers, especially young women, were allegedly manipulated into becoming spiritual wives, subjected to abuse and coerced into sexual relationships with Apollo himself. So he saw himself as a bit of a kingpin of the religious world, I suppose we could state. But then we get into the criminal activities. So Apollo faces charges in the US and the Philippines, including fraud, human trafficking, and exploitation of minors. Basically, we've got the religious version of P. Diddy on our hands. He used his fake charity, the Children's Joy Foundation, to fund his lavish lifestyle, forcing his followers to beg for donations that ultimately went straight into his own personal account. What a scumbag. He then, obviously, Ray William Johnson goes on to talk about the legal troubles that this guy has stating that the FBI has placed Apollo on their most wanted list in 2021 with a grand jury indictment detailing allegations of trafficking, child exploitation, and financial crimes. And after 2 weeks of a standoff at this compound in the Philippines in 2024, Apollo surrendered and was taken into custody. So he was finally captured for his crimes. You know, and then there was the protection and potential fallout of this capture. So Apollo enjoyed protection from former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte, I've definitely butchered that and I do apologize, his spiritual advisor, but lost his support under the new administration. His empire unraveled as ex-members came forward with detailed testimonies of abuse and manipulation against Apollo, and legal threat against Ray William Johnson. So this is what leads us to today, all right? So Ray William Johnson's obviously exposed these crimes. He then posted a video about 8 days ago stating, "I'm not sorry," in which he posts a very short video about himself, which is very weird. He obviously, you know, doesn't really do things about himself often. but basically states that Apollo's legal team has actually threatened to sue Ray William Johnson for covering these allegations, and which Johnson responded with this video right here. We'll play a little bit for you guys so you can kind of get the gist of the situation before we talk about the fallout of this video.
Guy is me, and I'm being threatened with a lawsuit. Let me explain. A few months ago, I told a story about this turd, Apollo Pool Boy, or whatever the hell his name is. In case you forgot, he's the guy from the Philippines who claims that he's the son of God. And he started his own church, and he got really rich off of it, and apparently he started sexually abusing his followers. Then he became wanted in 2 different countries, and then, bam, he gets arrested. Here's his mugshot, and now the man who claims to be the son of God is sitting in jail in the Philippines. So a few months ago, I told this story, and I outlined a lot of the crimes he's being accused of, and then I moved on to the next story, and I didn't really think anything about it. Sometime later, I check an email account that I check like once every 6 months, and I see that I got an email from a law firm in the Philippines stating that they represent Apollo. And they sent me this very long and detailed demand letter telling me basically they're going to take legal action against me, probably sue me, if I don't not only take down my video, but they're insisting that I make a public apology. Now,
imagine having an enormous ego to be sat in prison for crimes that you are wanted in 2 countries for, to then sit there and be like, do you know what? Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. Yeah, I'm a shitty person, but I'm just going to prove I'm a shitty person by sending you a cease and desist and then make you, force you to apologize. I am the son of God, don't you know?
I haven't replied to this email, so consider this video my official response to Apollo's legal threat. Dear Mr. Apollo, first of all, fuck you. Second of all, I understand you threatening people probably works well for you most of the time. I mean, you're a powerful man. You have a lot of influence in some circles. I get it. I also understand that you and your church are very wealthy. Like you own your own broadcasting network, you own a private jet, a personal helicopter. You own a church compound with an arena that's so massive it seats 75,000 people. Which means when it's done being built, you will own the largest indoor arena in the world. You have an estimated net worth of $100 million. I get it. We all get it. You've gotten very, very rich off of your religion. Here's the thing, though. Your wealth doesn't scare me. Just because you have money doesn't make you untouchable. See, where I'm from, we're very big on our freedom of expression. And if the FBI is accusing you of all these crimes, and the Filipino government is also accusing you of all these crimes, then I reserve the right to make a video about said crimes. In fact, I'm not saying anything about you that the FBI's most wanted poster of you isn't already saying.
What's he gonna do? Sue the FBI next because they've got his fat mug on a wanted poster?
Like, for example, that you engaged in sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. Or that you engaged in sex trafficking of children. Or how about the 74-page grand jury indictment that outlines all these crimes you're being accused of, including sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and sex trafficking of children? Or what about what the Filipino government is formally accusing you of? Sexually abusing your followers or grooming children into sex. That means that you screwed up so bad that 2 separate governments that aren't even working together on this, that means that they are each, in their own right, independently accusing you of the same crimes in their respective countries.
It's just, I couldn't get my words out there. That's how shocked I am by this. But not only that, but one of those governments actually protected this guy for a very, very long time. That's how bad he screwed the pooch. Right? Imagine screwing it so bad that you get fucked over by the people that were actually looking out for you.
Are each of these governments just making it up? What, to make you look bad? Sir, you aren't important enough for world governments to just make shit up about you. And what about all the witnesses who came out against you? Are they all just making it up too? The Filipino police identified 68 sexual abuse victims. 68! Bro, you're putting up Bill Cosby numbers. And now that it's all gone public, people like me are talking about it. And you're gonna try and threaten us and silence us with lawsuits? Okay, Apollo, let me make this clear so that you can understand it. When I made my video and suggested that you're a sex trafficker, what I really meant to say was, you're a sex trafficker. Let me say that again. You're a sex trafficker. And in case that wasn't clear, you're a sex trafficker! And if you really don't want people calling you a sex trafficker, then maybe, I don't know, try sex trafficking less. And
I love it, man. Ray William Johnson is literally the GOAT. He is just the GOAT. His response is fantastic. It's so on point. He's an idiot like this. Not Ray William Johnson. This guy, Apollo, right? But the fallout from this is that the video obviously has highlighted the scale of Apollo's operations, comparing them to international crime syndicates and cults. And it calls for Apollo to face justice for his crimes, including potential extradition over to the US for prosecution, right? It is just like, imagine having this big of an ego. People have stroked this guy's ego for so long that he is now, you know, like, thinking he is literally untouchable, but truly believing that he is the son of God, which I'm not buying for a single minute. But what do you guys make of this whole situation? It is crazy. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to jump scare the hell out of the like button, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.